Hey guys, today we're doing the spoiler review of Across the Spider-Verse because we can!
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
I don't know.
Not enough Gwenpool.
As in there was none.
Exactly.
We got Gwen, so it makes up for it.
I like Spider-Gwen, but
Um,
Gwenpool's great too.
yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily a spoiler, but I still don't understand other than it being a reference that like part where they're chasing Miles and the one Spider-Man is just sitting there, seemingly indefinitely, just combined to two different platforms, just
Yeah.
pulling himself with them. Like, what was the point of that?
I think that was like,
Why was he
if
there?
it was supposed to be a reference, I would imagine like, maybe like one of the movies like, possibly kind of like almost,
You mean like how Toby saw the train?
yeah, like something like that. Especially there's like, other, like, I don't know what, like,
I think Andrew at one
like
point.
pulling something together.
Yeah, that was Toby or Andrew, I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
that you're thinking of. One of them, like, is connected to two things, and he's, like, pulling them.
Yeah.
But then why... It would have been... I feel like it just would have... I mean, obviously, it probably would have been difficult to get those actors, you know?
Yeah.
Although, I don't know if it's true, but, like, I was saying things talking about Tom Holland being in the movie. Like, obviously, he's... You know, that he's not, but I think they were a joke, though. But that could have been cool. It would have been nice to have, like, you know, live-action Spider-Man with all these animated different ones just to, like, I don't know. I just think it'd be funny to see, like, the reactions of the other Spider-Mans. Who the hell are you? I'm Spider-Man. Why do you look so different? Don't worry about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it just seems pointless that he would just be there indefinitely, seemingly forever, just pulling the two platforms together.
Yeah.
And then everybody runs on top of him. Except for Miles, who just shoots himself across. But everyone else just
He runs
runs.
across, but then everyone else runs across, and then, you know.
He's just sitting there. What was that? Oh, God! There's a lot more people to get through. Get Spider-Man. Is it you? 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 No! Miles Morales! Spider-Man!
I love how they don't, like, just have, like, you know, like, just, like, three, like, Spider-Man.
No, it's literally everybody in the lobby.
Everyone does the meme.
Everyone in the lobby does the meme, yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I don't know where... It felt like Superior Spider-Man wasn't there, which is fair considering I don't think that many people like him. He's cool, though.
I mean, for all we know, maybe he could have been there.
He has a glider and weird ball things on his arms that no one knows what they are. Or am I thinking of a different Spider? I don't know. I'm thinking of the one that's Norman. Or Otto. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he, at one point, becomes Spider-Man for some reason. There's too many spider people. Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Does whatever a spider can. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. Look out. It's a Spider-Man. It would have been funny if that played.
Yeah.
Or the Spectacular Spider-Man theme song or something.
Yeah.
Spectacular Spider-Man. Uh-huh. Spectacular. I mean, he's in the movie. He's right there in the front corner.
Yeah.
Spectacular Spider-Man.
Part of the story, you want to talk about the Spot?
It's a spoiler review. We could talk about really
Yeah,
anything at this point.
Yeah, I don't know what. Or whatever, like. You know, I don't know. But.
My literal whole spoiler review of the Resident Evil movie is me telling the whole plot, and that's we can do what we want. I love how Miles made his own suit.
Yeah,
I mean, technically Miles is supposed to be there, but
yeah, cause like
well, comic
it's
Miles is supposed to be
yeah.
there.
So basically,
It's
it's
confusing.
revealed that like the spider he got bitten by wasn't from his own like
From 42.
yeah, like from his own Earth or
It's
whatever.
from Earth 42. He's
So
not from Earth 42, so there's a problem
so
there.
so basically, he technically wasn't supposed to become Spider-Man, and so that makes him an anomaly because in this movie, the whole
Well,
like
the
canon
first movie is a lot different.
like canon and non-canon events like and stuff is like an actual like thing in
Does
the
that mean
movie.
Andrew Garfield in this movie canonically failed to save Glenn?
Yeah.
God damn it! They
Also,
did my boy dirty.
also they show Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. He doesn't say anything, but he's there.
Yeah, it was like a weird picture thing at one point where he's
Yeah.
like crying over his Uncle Ben's like dead
Um.
body or something. He's crying over somebody who's dead.
Yeah.
That really happened to you? Yeah.
There's
Hell yeah.
there's a few other like there's like two other like instances of like live action people that actually talk. Because there's Donald Glover as the Prowler. Supposedly, from what I looked up at least, from like Spider-Man: Homecoming.
We didn't watch Homecoming if that's why
I
he
haven't
said it
watched
like
any of the
that.
Tom Holland movies either. He's watched two of them, but I haven't seen any of them. So
I saw the good ones, okay. I
would
think all of them are considered good, but I'm not.
um
I saw the last two that are currently out because they should
and he
be
was
making
like
another one.
there, and then there's like a point where
It's rude. It's rude to stare, you know. Sorry. There's a flipping rhino.
yeah
I'm so happy that there's just a rhino.
um
I don't know what it's from, but there's a rhino.
oh well
Hi, Glenn. Bye, Glenn.
there's also a point where the main villain, because honestly, Spider-Man 2099 felt a bit more like a more prominent villain in this movie.
To be
than
fair, even in the
this one.
comics, he kind of feels like a villain because of how much of a dick he is in the comics.
Yeah, but anyways,
Like, that's part of his character at this point, though. It's just
Yeah.
that he's a dick.
but
He's also a lot different. I don't
Yeah.
know if he has claws and stuff in the comics, but I know he's at least a bit different than the movie one. In the comics, at least. So that's kind of cool.
but yeah, like there's a point where the spot like is going through like different like Earths and stuff, and like at one point he's like in the shop from like the Venom movie, which
Yeah.
I I haven't watched it either, but I have like seen clips of like that scene, and
I saw.
he talks to like the store clerk there, and she just does not care.
I saw the entire first movie. Though, to be fair, I'm pretty sure at one point in the first movie, the only one I saw out of the two, I wanted to see the one with Carnage. I was not able to, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure at one point he straight up just becomes Venom in the store, and she's still just unimpressed and doesn't care. She's such a badass because she just doesn't care anymore about
Yeah.
she's looking at an animated like thing looking at her, and she's just unimpressed still. This is just a normal Tuesday for you, huh? Okay, how much for this pack of gum?
He also goes to
That's cool.
like a Lego like Earth where it's all Lego.
I'm pretty sure that might be because of those Lego movies. Because there's like
Yeah.
2 or 3 Lego Spider-Man movies. They're not very long, but Lego. You're one of that's why you're one of our best, Peter. Even though he's a Lego minifigure, but whatever.
Also, apparently, the parts with like, at least if not just that part, 'cause I don't know if any Lego characters are like shown outside that part. But
Pretty sure
apparently
they showed a few other worlds.
but like
in that
that was
scene,
like
but I don't
apparently like
remember.
animated by like a 14-year-old. Like they just let 14-year-old like animate that part. So
Anyway, what part? The Lego part?
yeah.
I think they probably use like stop motion figure. They probably use stop motion
Well, I
then.
think they like use like action figures, or they use like they do like digitally, like you know.
The 14-year-old did all that? Goddamn. How'd the 14-year-old pull that off?
Some talented
You know how
14-year-olds.
hard it is to animate Lego?
Yeah.
It's so hard that stop motion has become an art because stop motion is like because stop motion you have the actual figures and then like you
Yeah.
move them like picture by picture and then you show it's a time consuming process. But it comes out really cleanly, you know.
Mm.
Stop motion can be really good looking.
Yeah.
I feel like Splat ended up somewhere
I think he
else.
did. There's like 2 or 3 other places, I think. Maybe.
Besides all the Earths he was traveling to for Alchemexis with Spider-Man's, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what the other places were. He scared somebody at one point, I know that.
Oh yeah, because we went to like the first place we went to was like this like super like comic book like styled like place and was getting hit by a woman with like her bag like.
I'm pretty sure that's a that's something. I'm pretty sure that's an actual like Spider-Man thing.
Probably yeah.
Could be one of the shows, I guess. You never know. There was animated Spider-Man shows in the '90s. I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of those.
Yeah.
Or it was straight up just like they animated a panel of a comic or something. You know,
Yeah.
it's really hard to know.
I swear there's like at least more like when he first like.
Well, he ended up in himself somehow.
Yeah, and like when he does that like for the first time, that's when he goes like.
And he's
to
like,
certain
"Where does this
places.
portal lead?" Ah! But okay. I can go to different places. What's in this one? Excuse me, miss. I'm goes through the Lego dimension,
Yeah.
destroys half of the Daily Bugle in the process. It doesn't even acknowledge the fact that he's looking at Lego figures. It's just like, what the hell is this? Oh, hi, Gwen.
I love how in both directions it's just Gwen.
What's wrong with Gwen?
Nothing but.
Gwen's great. Gwen in the comics is pretty cool. Except for the fact that she dies more often than not.
Of course, our Gwen, Spider Gwen, ends up having her Peter die, so that's.
Yeah, that's how it is. I don't remember if in the comics he becomes, the lizard, but,
Yeah.
At least in the movie, he does. And he's like, I just wanted to be special. Like you. Now I'm dead. Why did I not think this through? Oh. Just. There's a Renaissance vulture
Oh,
chin,
yeah.
and I don't even know what's happening.
That's like because we start off the movie like
With Gwen.
with like Gwen, like she's like kind of.
It's kind of cool that it started with Gwen, because, like, all the
Yeah.
promo stuff showed, well, obviously, Miles.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm sure everybody going into this is like, oh, it's going to follow Miles. Nope.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
It does, but at the very beginning.
At the
like,
start, it doesn't follow
yeah,
Miles at
the
all.
Introduction, like the whole like just introduction is like following like Gwen and her own like Earth and stuff.
Well, it's basically following how Gwen even joined the, like, team.
Yeah, cause like
So.
she's like playing the drums and she's talking about like, like Into the Spider-Verse a bit, like and things about that, like Miles and whatnot, and
I just love okay, let's get this over with. My name is Enter Spider-Man here. I was bitten by a radioactive spider. All these other traumatizing events happened. No, I'm Spider-Man. Cutscene. They did that so many times for no reason. It's just, okay, my name is whatever. I was bitten by a spider. And now I do all these other things because I'm Spider-Man. Spider-Man is great.
yeah. And then
Spectacular.
and then she comes across like this like Renaissance vulture. And then
Let me guess. You came through a portal. Let me guess. You were chilling, sipping up hot coffee at some Leonardo da Vinci-esque cafe. Up, random portal happens, sucks you in, and now you're here. Yes, that is correct.
yeah.
Okay, well, I got the feature now.
And then
Die, Spider-Man!
And then eventually, good old Spider-Man 2099 shows up.
AKA the biggest dick of all the spider people.
And then,
I can never let him live that down. He is such a dick.
And then eventually Spider-Woman comes out.
For some reason, she's driving a motorcycle.
Yeah. and also in that part of the story, she's pregnant because
It's also weird considering I don't know what that Spider Woman is from. I'm
Yeah.
I'm used to the first one, and the original one
Yeah.
had like little wing things on her suit.
I
So
mean, for all we know, it could be like the original version of her that they made for the movie.
yeah, that's true. It's really confusing with this movie because they added so many references that some of them could just be made up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like there's more than enough Spider-Mans that you wouldn't have to make up any. But you never know.
Yeah.
Peter has a baby.
Oh yeah. Who's a
Touch my
Spider-Man?
baby. It'll rejuvenate you more. It'll rejuvenate you more. Touch my baby. Touch my baby. Listen, I need you to touch my baby. You're not thinking straight. You need to touch my baby. It's very relaxing. Why are you not touching my baby? He does touch the baby eventually.
Yeah, and then holds it very incorrectly.
You are really bad at holding a baby. He was holding her like she was Superman, like
Yeah.
flying around, like she was Superman flying. Superman! I mean, it's not the worst position he could have hold a baby in.
Yeah.
She was just Superman flying, but yeah, probably not the best choice. You are really bad at holding a baby. I want the therapy scene.
Oh yeah.
The therapist Spider-Man and that traumatized Spider-Man and then my uncle, let me guess, he died. Boom! Everybody gets bursting through the room. I also love how I don't remember what the the official name of the whole web thing they're all a part of was.
Oh yeah. The
Spider-Verse is a much easier name to say and but Miguel was like arachnid something verse.
arachnid. I don't know. There's an H in there somewhere.
There was an H in there somewhere. Which that's a stupid name. Its actual name is the arachnid whatever verse, which I guess is also a stupid name. I'm also kind of what the hell is the AI thing that they all just randomly have? Who is this random lady that's just an AI doing stuff?
I don't know. They don't really.
It was also weird seeing like super old video game characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some video game characters in the movie.
Including the one from the PS4 game, like the first one. Obviously.
Yeah, that Spider-Man. But like, I was thinking
They also,
I was thinking the retro-looking villain
Oh,
people
yeah.
that were just chilling.
That too.
Because I have no idea what they're from, other than they're probably from like an SNES or an NES Spider-Man game. 'Cause those exist.
Yeah.
There's some old Spider-Man games. It was so weird seeing Miles stare at Danny Glover, and Danny Glover is just a real life human being getting stared at by an animated cartoon character. It's rude to stare. Walks away slowly. There was a Craven at one point.
Yeah. That we didn't see because I was busy looking at other things like the realistic rhino.
Yeah, there's a
That
rhino.
was just a rhino.
And then they set a rhino that was just a guy in a costume bat.
Yeah.
He was there for a
classic looking
second.
rhino.
I don't think they had any lizards. Well, besides Peter Parker fucking dying. But, well, that was a flashback. But I think that's the only time they show a lizard.
Yeah.
I don't even think there's a scorpion.
I don't think so.
I don't even think... There was kind of a Doc Ock, but it wasn't a real Doc Ock. It was that weird... When Miles is running, all those villains, pop up, but none of them are real.
So now that, in the first movie, Doc Ock is, there, and also
Yeah.
female.
Female Doc Ock?
Yeah.
Oh god, we can't let all Octavius find out there's a female version of himself somewhere. There's also that I don't know if they were in the movie, but there's that black cat Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I forget exactly what happens in the comics. There was a T-Rex Spider-Man.
Yeah. There's
There,
also a cat Spider-Man.
the cat is interesting because the cat's like a different animation style compared to everybody else. Like it's like more of a like realistic animated style.
Yeah.
So it's just comical seeing this cat that's kind of pseudo realistic looking,
Yeah.
just ripping at Miles's face.
Yeah.
I know the cat rips up somebody. Was it the guy just holding the two things
Yeah.
together?
Like it just like pounced on him
Just started
and then everyone
clawing.
else just came just rushing in and you know.
Oh, the cat's just just like hitting him. There was also a giant Spider-Man that had like that was huge, and he had like metal bits on him, and he had a
Oh
flipping cannon thing.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what he was, but he
I
was
don't
there.
know either, but he's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's somewhere in there.
He's right there.
Yeah, it's that one. There he is. And then it's just kind of weird that Spot was shown to be the villain,
Yeah.
but Miguel was more of a villain than he was.
Yeah. And I really did more
Well, he did more at least.
than like Spot.
He did
For,
more
like,
at least.
Spot was like
Getting
'cause
powerful.
we first like see him like trying to fight like you know Miles and
Well, he was also failing to steal an ATM machine.
yeah.
And then I was like, why do they say ATM machine? The M stands for machine.
Yeah.
Which is why everybody calls it ATM. Because M is machine. So if you include it's automated, whatever the T stands for, machine. Why do people call it chai tea? Chai stands for tea.
Oh yeah, because
Indian
Spider-Man.
He's awesome.
Yeah, and he goes on a rant because Miles says he loves chai tea, and then you know he goes on a rant because you know like that like chai means tea, so you know he like was saying like a bunch of like double.
Well, he's
words.
also telling his backstory of the process.
Yeah.
And then Spot later says, I love chai tea," and he's like, "Oh, come on." And then he's of course like, "Chai means tea," like he's of course gets frustrated. Oh, so it's also weird seeing Ben Riley because not only is he in a different style, he's like so
Yeah.
pointless to be there, and yet he talks. Like, what's the point of it?
Yeah.
The first time you see Ben Riley, he's just like looking out a window and like being depressed because it's
Yeah.
Ben Riley. And then he gets to actually do something. He's like, hell yeah. And then he's doing something. There's a portal right in front of his face. But no, he has to sit there and monologue for 15 minutes about, I can sense something dangerous here. But I'm not seeing it. Better look around. And then he gets up. Now he's in the portal because Gwen just grabbed him in there because, he's stupid. Like, why is Ben Riley so dumb in this movie? It's funny though, but like, why? I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything over here. Better look around just to be sure. Ugh. Spectacular Spider-Man. We're running out of still to talk. Well, not really.
Yeah. There's still the Spider-Punk was amazing.
Oh yeah,
He-
Hobie.
And like the entire time he has like this like
He has that unique shading on
Yeah,
him
and
where
he
he's
has,
like
like,
hand drawn.
and well he has like effects almost like you know like newspaper like clippings or like collages like
Yeah,
almost,
it kind of reminded me of those like. It actually reminded me a lot of a music video, which is fitting for him considering he has a
Yeah.
guitar. But it was like one of those old music videos where. Actually, Stacey's mom is a good example of it because, well, sort of, because Stacey's mom, there's parts where the band is literally on like magazine covers, like singing.
Yeah.
It was like that, except I can't think of the name of the song that I'm thinking of, but there's a song where it's like a person like in the music video like walking around. They have sort of the Hobie-esque like shading around them because they're from a
Yeah.
magazine cover. Also, Take On Me, kind of. Because in Take On Me,
Yeah.
he's from a newspaper, but he's from the comic of a newspaper, technically. Or at least that's when we first see him.
Yeah.
And then, he's somehow in the real world, but he's still, like, hand-drawn for a second. And he's just hitting himself on, like, doorways and stuff.
Yeah.
And now this lady's looking at her true love that was a drawing, and now he's a real-ass guy. That's probably 20 something and way older than her, but we don't have to talk about that. It was the 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love how Hobie had that unique, like, news,
Yeah.
like, magazine style thing. Huh, you thought I would show you my real face? Nah, come on, man. Proceeds to take off his mask anyways later. For no reason. There's also, like, that Avatar Spider-Man was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, what are you? I'm Spider-Man. Or Spider-Bit. I'm Spider-Man. Yeah, we all are. I'm actually in my room right now eating Fritos. Look, and she's literally in an Oculus VR Quest 2 headset eating a bag of Fritos in like a gaming chair.
Yeah.
This whole time, she's just gaming in this Oculus headset. That is
Yeah.
somehow she's there. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
She also appears to be one of the smarter people, considering how many like buttons and machines she's like always
Yeah.
messing with. It's also, and then you have, God, Miguel is such a dick. Obviously, Miles has no idea what he's doing, so he's just running around, wherever they are.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know where to go. Well, he knows, but, he's also, like, panicking,
Yeah.
And then Miguel's beating him senseless, and he goes, actually, you might want to look behind you. He's like, actually, I called some friends, and they think you're me. And he's like, what? And he looks back, and there's just like so many Spider-Men all of a
Yeah.
sudden. Huh? Looks like he thought this through after all. And then he just left. I feel like Miles had this one of the saddest stories of them all, because like
Yeah.
everyone else, like we know their story. You know what I mean? Somebody died, they got bitten by a spider, they did all this stuff. Somebody they cared about flipping died. Roll credits. Like, that's the backstory right there. I mean, that is Miles' backstory,
Yeah.
It's also not, because this whole time he was a problem.
Yeah.
It's revealed later in the movie that the reason why Gwen, Peter, Penny, I'm assuming. God, Penny has a new mech, and I love it.
Yeah.
God, that was a Noir, maybe. Although, why would he even have a reason to leave this universe? I don't even know if he was there. He probably was. No, he was
Yeah.
there a few times.
He was.
I just remember more so at the end, but like I think he was there like earlier a few times,
Yeah.
wearing his hat, in his flipping trench coat. He probably has the Tommy gun somewhere. Like, let's be honest now, because he's got a flipping Tommy gun. You think he still has that Rubik's cube?
Maybe.
He definitely has the Rubik's cube still somewhere. That's a bit. And one of the games, the mobile games, he's like messing with the Rubik's cube, or he's holding his Tommy gun. It's great. And then Avatar Spider. I guess the reason why they just never went to see him was because he was an anomaly, not because they didn't want to.
Yeah.
So obviously he was very angry with all of them, and basically defriended all of them. Basically, wouldn't even hold Peter's baby for the longest time.
Yeah.
Hold my baby. It'll rejuvenate you. I'm already rejuvenate you more. I just think you should really hold my baby. Just hold the baby. It's also cool that like the baby more times, like 2 times, just points at something, and Peter just it's just like, what's happening? There's like a part later where his baby is like webbed, doing the classic, like she's just hanging off the ceiling by like a web, and Peter's like partially falling asleep, and he looks at her, and she's like pointing out the window. So he grabs her, puts her in his little baby holder thing, carrier thing, then looks out the window, and there's Gwen Stacy. just staring at him. Because why not? God, it was so good. It was also kind of weird that they showed Danny Glover twice.
Yeah.
You know, you have the part where Miles is talking to him, and then Miles is like running, and it for some reason showed him again. I still don't understand why they felt the need to show him a second time, but they showed him again, and he was just unimpressed.
Yeah.
I think he was like, well, he was like looking at something, like he was like looking at them, but he was just, that was it. So it's like, why did you even include that in the movie? I don't know. It's kind of dumb. There's also a Spider-Man with a horse and a
Yeah.
gun. That's cool. There's also, I'm pretty sure that there was like a little. I still don't know what it was, but it was a little body Spider-Man with a giant head like a Funko Pop swinging around. But I don't know if it was a Funko Pop or not. But that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
That was Little Spider-Man from the Little League. That's DC, not Marvel. But I love that.
Yeah.
I'm Little Batman. I want to find that comic so badly someday.
Yeah.
What else can we talk about? Miles eventually decides, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
Nope. He doesn't go
Does
home.
not, in fact, go home.
Nope. Now he's tied to a punching bag about to die. Or shock some chains off of him, whichever comes first. There's no Spider-Man in this world. It's just
Yeah.
Miles getting his ass kicked.
Yeah. And then we eventually find out, like, on like, Earth 342, the Miles, goes to, that Miles is the Prowler. Uh,
I think it was her 42, not 342.
yeah, I was trying to say Earth 42.
Or 42?
Yeah.
42.
Um,
Yeah,
and there's
that's
also no
what.
Spider-Man in that, like, Earth.
Well, yeah, because the spider wasn't in 42. So how could it have bit the
Yeah.
correct person? I'm pretty sure whatever Spider-Man they didn't, that, like, was technically supposed to be that Spider-Man, whoever
Yeah.
it may have been. I'm sure they have comics. You know what I mean? Considering how different Miles' backstory is in the comics, I'm sure there's like a comic of them.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what Miguel's whole goal was. Like, he tried to capture Miles for some reason at the beginning, for some reason. And Miles is like, no, I'm going to go help my dad. Miguel gets pissed off at him, and then,
Yeah.
that's fine, right? Oh yeah, they showed Eddie. They showed Eddie Brock at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they showed a comic panel Eddie Brock, but they showed Eddie Brock becoming blonde hair Eddie Brock from the comics.
Yeah.
They showed him becoming Venom at one point. It was like a picture thing, but he was there. I saw Venom.
Mhm.
He's right there. I think that's the only time there was technically a Venom in the entire movie. Or what if Agent Venom was just chilling somewhere? Flash Thompson.
Yeah.
Because unless a Flash Thompson was somewhere, then, you know. Uh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at all the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's the... Filming is hard sometimes.
Yeah.
What else could we talk about? There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah. There's a lot of family drama with, like, Miles' family and Gwen's dad.
I just,
Uh,
to the point where once Dad quit his
yeah, because
job.
she reveals, like, in the, like, kind of, like, intro segment
Her
where we're
dad's
following
pretty cool,
her that,
though.
like, she's the Spider Woman and that like Earth whatever and
Her dad's pretty cool though.
yeah.
Who's your dad? Oh, is your dad? Oh, so your dad? So your daddy's a drug dealer, huh? My dad is a cop. My statement's withdrawn. Well, maybe I could call him at the station, see if we can find him. He probably won't be in today. Why are you here then? Don't worry about it. I'm coming to go. I'm gonna go get Miles. Don't worry about it. Don't follow me or anything. I got this. Gwen's great.
Yeah.
Imagine if Gwenpool was in the movie. Oh, it'd be so good. I'm sure that we'll probably never see Gwenpool again, but you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
She was in Lego Marvel Superheroes too, so I mean anything is possible, right?
Yeah.
I love how the canonical reason that Gwenpool says for why she's in Lego Marvel Superheroes is because the last guy got like fired or something, aka Deadpool. Remember?
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, hi Gwen. What's up, Gwen? Speaking of Gwen Stephanie or Gwen Stacy.
Okay.
Hi, Gwen.
Picture. Is there anything besides Gwen? Oh.
Hi, Gwen and Miles. That's like super small. There's Miles, his buddy behind him. What else is there? That. There's Miles shooting some webs. There's Gwen
Shooting some webs.
shooting some webs.
Here's this poster, but
There's the poster.
but you can actually see more of him.
There's Miles Prower and Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Hi, Gwen. Hi, Miles. Hi, Gwen and Miles. Whatever is going on in that picture.
We got Miles, Spot, Spider-Woman, and Spider-Woman 99.
No. Peter and his
Peter
baby.
and his little baby.
Baby.
Spider baby.
Spider baby. They never say her name.
Yeah. Got a bunch of Spider-Mans through his eye.
Like one. That's a cool poster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gwen straight up got... Gwen got fired. Oh hey.
Good old Donald Glover.
There he is.
That's Prowler.
It's just weird seeing him there because everything else is animated.
Here's Spider-Woman. And this Spider-Woman that we don't really get the name of, so...
Oh yeah.
Here's the Spot.
Oh, you're talking about like the British one? Is that the British one? Like at the beginning that comes to talk to them. That's kind of British looking. I mean, I think they may have had her name, but it was like really small in like one of those comic book-esque like speech bubble things, you know?
Yeah.
So it's hard to see it.
Here's Indian Spider-Man.
Yeah, so yeah, Gwen Miguel Miguel fires Gwen at one point because he thinks she's a liability for some reason. So she just straight up gets fired.
Yeah.
Well, except for the fact that flipping Hobie quit, and by quit I mean he literally put his wristwatch thing in a box, sent it to her house. And then his dad gave her the box. And it was because it's Hobie's, you know, it has all the magazine stuff, like, you know, aesthetic. Which is kind of funny. But yeah, Hobie just straight up quits. Well, quits. He comes back later, but... And then Gwen straight up just gets fired.
Yeah.
As for Miles, well, he's chilling. Getting his ass beat, but, you know, he's chilling.
Yeah.
Spectacular Spider-Man. What else is there to talk about? There's a lot to unpack. There's so much happening. It's kind of hard to process it all.
Like there's so many like details and like action and characters and events.
I think
all happening within like 2 hours.
Yeah. This movie had more substance than the Resident Evil movie I saw.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Oh, it was so much better.
Resident Evil into the Resident verse, the evil verse.
That could be good. You never know.
I guess they kind of have that with the reverse, with like the different characters, like
There's no
that
Alice
game.
in Reverse though.
Yeah, but
So to be fair, I don't even know if the actress for Alice could even do it anymore.
yeah,
Because her last movie was 2017 as Alice, so
yeah,
she'd be a lot, she'd be older now. So, and I don't know. Who even knows if she would even want to be Alice again?
yeah,
I'd be kind of, it'd be kind of cool if they ever like brought Alice to the game world.
yeah.
I'd probably hate it, but if you do it right, maybe it could be good.
Yeah.
Her character is so pointless though. I'm too
Yeah.
brain dead to think. 'Cause there's so much happening.
Yeah. So I was like, it was funny how he went from like being like, this like almost like Joker villain that was like, you know, hard for like Miles to take care of because of all the spots, but
Yeah,
eventually,
but if you're used to spots against them, then you can just kind of.
yeah,
I love how the bread falls out of his stomach.
yeah,
That's funny. Why are you laughing? It's not funny. Bread pieces are like loaves of bread falling out of his stomach.
yeah.
It's kind of funny.
So then he goes from that to being like this, like actually much more like threatening, like serious villain.
Well, yeah, 'cause he goes to every Alchemist as a Spider-Man and adds more spots to himself.
Yeah,
So
until like almost like he like is basically like some kind of like anti-spot or something where like instead of his body being like all white with like black spots, it's like all black with like white spots.
and it's only a few white spots.
Yeah, which technically makes it like a lot harder to like do anything to him because technically almost his whole body is basically a spot.
Yeah, except for like those hand-drawn sort of swirly circle things.
Yeah.
So that's so that's fun.
Yeah.
Also, love we draw on free one. I said free.
Yeah.
There's also the one lady in the wheelchair that was like, that was like, Miles, I'm a big fan, and is like asking opinions of his about, spider people, about the, spider people or whatever, and he just doesn't say anything, and then she knocks him off the horse. Not sure why she was in a wheelchair, though. Nor do I know anything about that spider.
Yeah.
Please do. Spider-Ham showed up a few times, so that was kind of cool. He never talked, though, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
I don't think the War Spider-Man talked either, which is also kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
Penny says, like, one line.
Yeah.
Spectacular Spider-Man, dude. What else should we mention or say?
So much.
We kind of said most of the plot of this point.
Yeah.
Miles' dad is becoming captain. That's kind of cool.
That's the important part. It's like, because basically, like, he's not like, they're not supposed to like breach anymore. It's like, things got like messed up.
Yeah.
And like one thing happens is like when they're in like, in the installments like, Earth, like, Miles like saves the, and that like. Captain is supposed to like save a child while like sacrificing himself, and then like it's a whole bad thing for Spider-Man. But Miles saves that captain and the child, which again isn't supposed to happen. And then of course, his dad is supposed to become police captain, and then Gwen said was supposed to become police captain, but then he quits. And then Miles'
No,
dad.
I feel like Gwen was already a captain.
I don't.
Or at least they called him captain. She called him captain multiple times.
I thought I swear
Well, then Miles was like, "Isn't your dad a captain?" And Gwen's like, "Yeah, he is." So
maybe I don't remember.
I think he like just recently became police captain or something.
I think.
But yeah, he was captain. Then Miles' dad was supposed to become captain, and
Yeah.
as we all know, what happens to captains in Spider-Man lore, they die every time. So
Yeah. Except for Spider-Man. Oh yeah, and then because of that, like, it starts like messing like things up in his world, like.
yeah, destroying it. It's like destroying itself.
Yeah.
Just like how Miguel tried to stay with Dad in that one world by
like,
taking over
what
until
happened,
that
like,
unraveled.
Miguel is, like, there's like a different version of him that was living
A happy life.
Yeah, unlike most Spider-Man, he actually had a happy life.
Yeah,
That was,
unlike our Miguel, who's a giant dick
yeah.
and not living a happy life.
And then that Miguel ends up dying, and so our Miguel takes his place or tries to, and it
Unravels the
and
universe.
then the world gets just devoured, and it's just gone now, I guess.
Except for our Miguel.
Yeah.
He's not from there.
Yeah, it wasn't from that to begin with.
So it didn't affect him. Well, it did, but
Oh yeah.
It affected him mentally, not physically.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. I wish we would have had like an Asian Spider-Man that was basically just like an Asian uncle. Could you imagine? Miguel's giving this long backstory, and you just hear emotional damage. He's like, who said that? It's just like an Asian uncle Spider-Man, who's like making fun of him,
Emotional. Whip.
Stupid. Failure. Gotta be so good. It's also, God, Miles is. I'm very curious about Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, because like also that's so the thing about this movie is like it doesn't actually like conclude like
Technically.
like I mean like it doesn't like conclude things yet. Like the spot doesn't get stopped yet. Like Miles is like
Tied to a punching bag, about to get his ass beat by himself.
He's about to get punched by the other Miles.
Prowler Mile.
And then Gwen assembles like her own like.
Well, Miguel basically fired Gwen, sent her back to her universe, and then
they had like a elite team of like Spider-Man who were like fixing anomalies in other worlds.
Except Miguel's a dick and sent Gwen home. So then Gwen just used Hobie's. Well, and then Hobie, because he straight up just said he quit, gave Gwen his little Spider-Man traveling device thing.
Yeah.
So then Gwen, obviously takes it from her. So her dad is like, I need to give you this if it'll help. And then she hands him the watch. She puts it on. Then she starts getting everybody that technically even remotely cares about Miles.
Which has all the Spider-Man from like the
Into the Spider, which that makes sense considering they've been with Miles for like a while. They were with him for a while in that movie. They like learned a lot about him and stuff. So that makes sense.
And then they had Hobie or Spider-Punk. They had the Avatar Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Who helped because he was trying to go back to his world that Miguel didn't want him to, and she let him go through it. Also,
she didn't press the button that would send him home.
When they weren't trying to get him, they were kind of almost flirting or something. They were being whatever.
It was very bad flirting if it was flirting. I tell you that much. But
Like that. It was just the awkwardness,
I'm Spider-Man. Yeah, we all are.
And then there's Indian Spider-Man.
Yeah, he serves. Because
the only I think there's only 3 of the new Spider-Man from this movie, and then the rest were from
Though to be fair, I'm sure Gwen wanted to fight. Yeah, I'm sure Gwen was wanting the people that even would remotely care about him to help her.
Yeah.
So obviously she couldn't if she tried to grab Miguel, he would just be a dick the whole time and try to stop them.
Yeah.
And if she grabs, say, Spectacular Spider-Man or some of the others, like they don't know who Miles is really. Like, what would they like? Why would they help? So it makes sense that she grabs who she does.
Yeah.
And the movie ends.
Yeah. I like how they cliffhanger, and then they like in the movie or like the next movie is Beyond the Spider-Verse. Like they just tell us straight up.
Well, at least the name.
Yeah, and that's about uh, it from that. And that's like where the movie ends.
Yeah.
I wonder what, because obviously like you're going to conclude like the Miles being trapped by like, other Miles,
And
trying to
probably
stop
the
the spot, and then like
well, yeah.
Gwen and her like new team trying to help Miles, and then Miguel and his team trying to stop Miles and also the spot.
Though to be fair, Miguel's team was down a member because Gwen just straight up took Ben Riley somewhere.
Yeah.
And he lost his like wristwatch thing, so he can't leave unless the Soul gets him.
Yeah.
Huh. There's something strange happening down here, but I'm not seeing it. Better keep looking around.
The walls look normal.
Oh yeah, the walls look normal. And it's like right in front of his face, but he's just not acknowledging it for some
Yeah,
reason.
he's just like looking around.
And then he gets grabbed. So funny.
It's kind of interesting, like seeing how like everything plays out in the next movie, especially if it's like around the same length of like 2 hours and whatever minutes. Like,
I'm sure Miguel will be more of a dick. That's like his whole character at this point is just being a dick. It'll also be cool to see if there's like if they do any like references like this one did was like not only the movies but also like other shows like Spectacular Spider-Man stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
Though I don't think they had any references to the live action Spider-Man movie, but that like kind of makes sense because that movie came out literally in the 70s
Yeah.
and only lasted 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Like when? Yeah. Well, oh god. uh, uh, uh. Yeah, now we're talking. Uh, 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 uh. Gotta do it. It's so hard to do this with the track. There we go. It's so hard to do it with the trackpad.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about Beyond the Spider-Verse right now.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of like just nervous about it in some ways as well. Just because you never know, like when a movie's being made, you never know if it's gonna turn out good or not till you watch it.
Yeah.
So not Andrew Garfield's movies, unfortunately. Although I really like the second one.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, Toby stopped the train. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I saw him stop that train in theaters, if I remember. Maybe. Depending on when that movie came out. I probably wasn't alive when that movie came out, but I at least saw him stop a train at one point. Toby's Bully McGuire. God, that's the only good thing about the third movie. Bully McGuire. Rub some dirt in your eye. Go put some dirt in your eye, whatever the heck he said. After he beat up Flash Thompson.
Something like that, yeah.
I swear he like beat up Flash Thompson or Venom or he beat up somebody. They were just like, go put some dirt in your eye. Like, damn. Anything else you want to talk about? Spectacular.
I think we went through most of the main stuff.
There's still the small stuff to go through if you want to.
I'm trying to think.
Nah, that's the hard part.
There's like so many.
It's one of those movies where you could rewatch it a million times and see something new every time.
like
Because while the plot isn't going to change, there's so many spider people that you probably didn't notice at the beginning, like your first few times watching, because there's so many of them doing stuff. And also, there's like a lot, and especially in that room where Danny Glover is and the realistic Rhino and those video game characters. I mean, there's a lot going on there as well.
Yeah.
So,
Like I feel like we could like binge watch it like 5 times, like back to back, when every time we'd see like 10 new things.
yeah, probably. Spectacular. I still don't get why he's so much shorter compared to
Yeah.
everyone else. Like he's besides the I think the only Spider-Man that I saw that was shorter than Spectacular Spider-Man was the one with the big head and like kind of the small body. That was like swinging at one point
Yeah.
after Miles. Yeah, that was like the only one I saw that was smaller, you know.
Yeah.
Unless if you count the animals, in which case, and I guess the cat as well, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We've been here for 55 minutes. That's not even a surprise. The spoiler-free review was like 18 minutes or something, so obviously we had a lot more to talk about in this one.
Yeah.
Because we could talk about more.
I love how we've spent almost like half the time of the entire movie talking about the movie.
Exactly. I think this is similar to how it like what happened with the Resident Evil movie. My spoiler-free review was like 4 minutes. And then the spoiler review was like 20 something minutes.
Yeah.
Think we should end it there, or what do you think?
I think we
Or
could.
do you have more to say?
Um,
Spectacular Spider-Man. I mean, I get why Miguel's trying to, gets all the Spider-Mans to try to stop Miles because he's the original anomaly, and they're
yeah.
trying to keep him from, saving his dad and doing all that.
Yeah.
Except that was kind of pointless because the spider was from Earth 42, so, you know,
Yeah.
he wasn't even going to end up in his correct dimension anyways, and you know what I mean? So it's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
kind of dumb. There's too many spider people, like, and I don't know 90% of them, so it's
Yeah.
hard for me to, like, be like, oh, yeah, that's, what's his name from, like, that's Spider-Man from, like, this comic run,
Yeah.
because I just don't know enough about 99% of them.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to mention? I, Gwen. God damn it. The trackpad is such a curse. There we go. Anything at all?
Um,
Spectacular.
most of the things that were on my mind, mainly.
So you think we should end it here then, or?
I think so.
Alright, well, thank you guys so much for watching our spoiler review. Obviously, if you haven't seen the movie, why were you here? I'm just saying, why the hell were you here?
Yeah.
But if you have seen the movie, I don't know, leave a comment telling us, I don't know, your thoughts and opinions, or
Yeah.
what you thought of this video. We're still very new to doing movie reviews. We've kind of just, we're kind of still just test running it. So, obviously, if you guys see room for improvement, let us know, and we'll, I don't know, work on it, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell, do all the algorithmic garbage. It helps us out a lot and means a lot to us. And we will see you guys in the next video.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Eh.